Hello coin collectors out there, welcome back to the Big D Coins channel. So I sat down to make tonight's video with all intentions of making a video about a 1990s Jefferson nickel. About a half hour later, I came to the conclusion that there was nothing really to talk about the 1990s Jefferson nickels. If you guys have any stories or any interesting facts about nickels that were made in the 1990s, feel free to let me know. But I spent a decent amount of time looking through stuff and I could not find anything. The Cherry Picker's Guide just has one mention of a 1990s nickel. It's the 1990S proof double die obverse at a PF65 valued at $750, but can't really make a full video about one proof 65 that's worth $750. So I decided to kind of go back to a more interesting decade for coin collecting, back to the 60s. The 60s were kind of the peak coin collecting days. They were very popular for coin collectors, so popular that the people weren't really spending them, so the mint had to take the silver out of the dimes and the quarters. They stopped making proof sets for a little while. They switched up the side that the mint mark is on for the quarters, nickels, and dimes. They did a lot of interesting stuff in the 60s. They also produced a ton of 1964 Denver Mint nickels, which is what this video ended up being about. So hopefully you enjoy this, and if you have any stories or anything to share about 1990s nickels, feel free to let me know. I can make a video about them next time. All right, so back to the topic at hand, the 1964 Denver Mint Jefferson nickel. So the Jefferson nickel, the real key dates for those are 1938 to 1942. That's when they switched up the metal content a little based on the war efforts, and they put some silver into the nickels. Those are key dates. Some people think or would just assume that 1964 would have silver in it, because in 1964 the quarters and the dimes did. However, they did not. These quarters aren't even mostly nickel. They're 75% copper, 25% nickel. So they're 3/4 copper, only 1/4 actual nickel. That being said, we can talk about the value of them. So another kind of misconception is that these would be super valuable. Just based on the fact that they were made in the 1960s, they figured their value would have gone up over time. The problem with that is there were so many produced. In fact, 1964D is the highest year of mintage, the highest year and the highest specific coin minted. So I found this article, coinmintages.com/Jefferson nickel mintages, and that gives you some interesting information that I'll share with you here. And that article was written as of 2009. So as of 2009, there were 162 different date, mint mark, and design combinations for the Jefferson nickel series without consideration of proof versions. Coins were struck variously at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. The total number of coins struck for circulation as of 2009 was 52 billion. The lowest mintage year occurred in 1950 at the Denver Mint, which had mintages of 2,630,000. On the other end of the spectrum, which is what we've got here, because these ones are much easier to find, the 1964 Denver Mint Jefferson nickel, the mintages of that, the highest of the Jefferson nickel, are 1 billion, that's correct, 1 billion with a B, 787,297,160. I'm not sure how they got the exact number. That's quite phenomenal if they know the exact number of nickels that were minted, but that's 1.8 rounded up billion nickels produced. So it's really almost 2 billion if you were to round it up to the closest billion, or round it in general to the closest billion, you'd get to 2 billion. So during the years 42 to 45, nickels struck contained 35% silver. So as I said, those are the key date nickels that you should be looking for, those 1940 2 to 45. And obviously the Buffalo nickel, that's a key one as well. That came out in 1938. It ended in 1938. So look for Buffalo nickels prior to 1938. That should be a pretty obvious one if you're coin roll hunting. You definitely know when you come across one of those. I've found some of those while coin roll hunting, so they're definitely out there still. But you'll come across a lot more of these ones right here. A very frustrating coin to see because it's not really old enough for me to hang on to. Generally, when I'm coin roll hunting, I'll hang on to any coins that are in great condition or any coins that are made 59 and earlier. However, as you can see, I held on to these ones right here. I'm not sure why. I could put them back into circulation, but I guess they're helpful for making videos. Held on to these ones. They are not in great condition. They would not be ranked very highly, rated very highly by any coin grading agency, and they're not particularly rare. I have made a video about the 1964 Denver Mint repunch mint mark. That's a known error for the 1964. So I can't really say that 1964 aren't, valuable at all. If you have one that's in great condition, mint state 66, 65, maybe up to 67, obviously that will be in great condition. That will be worth a premium. But if you have yours in an AU state, almost uncirculated, that's not really going to bring much premium because there were so many made. Also, as I kind of alluded to, 1964 repunched mint mark, that will sell for a premium. But as you can see, we're looking at these mint marks right there, there. I kind of lined them up as I was talking. And this one right here and right here, we can't see any evidence of the repunch mint mark for the 1964 nickel. So the direction of that 1964 repunch mint mark is the secondary D is visible to the south of the primary D. So keep your eye out for that, I guess. But otherwise, hopefully it's kind of answered some people's questions about the 1964 Denver Mint Jefferson nickel. Could have answered your question as why you come across so many of them. That's because there are 1.7 billion, 1,787 million of them made. So quite a lot of them were made. So I'll start to sign it off here. Hopefully you found this a little bit informative, a little bit of fun. If you have any information on 1990s nickels or any other coin that you would recommend I make a video about, feel free to let me know. Have a great day, everyone. Best of luck coin collecting. Take care and enjoy.